Killer, a game of two halves again, 10-0 at half time, second half much better.
Yeah, I thought we put a lot of good work in the first half. I was pretty content at half time. We just fixed up a couple of issues. We'd given him a couple of invites where we just let him off the hook, kicking out the full. I think we bombed a try in the corner at 10-4, and then they've ended up scoring off the back of that. So 16-4, 10-all swing. But I was pretty content that coming down the hill we'd be good physically, and that's how it turned out. I thought we did some decent stuff with the ball. Second phase was pretty good with the ball. It's hard to attack on this field. It's quite tight, and the ruck was quite slow today for both sides. So we wasn't getting rewards for those momentum, and winning at our front it was quite slow, and it's the same for both sides. So. Pleasing to get the win. Defensively, I'm really pleased. Obviously disappointed that we let one in on the hooter, but I think Newcastle was a 0, Dewsbury was 16, and that's 14, and that's probably our best defensive display so far. So you can see them improvements in our wrestle and things like that. It's just probably individuals now are the knocking off or missing tackles, and those are the areas that we'll focus on leading into next week's game.
Tries for the majority of the edge players today. Back row Beefy, Sal, New, Holroyd. That must be pleasing.
Yeah, and they were back off the back of second phase and last plays. One was a kick that got charged down, and we were switched on to play. The Beefy one in the corner, they've rushed Matty and put him in, and he got over the line there. So there was some good stuff, some good reaction stuff today. And I thought some of our attack was good. It was difficult against this, like I say, it was a slow ruck, and their slide defence was very good as well. But I was pleased. I thought Connor was really good today. Cleaned a lot of ball up, and some of those middles worked really hard. Like I say, physically. So there's lots of positives. There are things to work on and improve on. And next week will be a real challenge going to Workington, but it's one that we'll relish.
Matty and Faz as well, a bit of an aerial assault into the corners, wasn't it? Some joy from them kicks.
Yeah, I thought they kicked very well today, and we stayed disciplined within the game plan. I thought the spine worked well, the flan starting, and then that middle part, and Ollie coming off the bench, and then Bowsy at 13 as well, and I'll say the half. So yeah, again it was a different spine, different combination, but we put a lot of reps into them, and we had a good balance today, I thought. So yeah, very, very pleased on that, and we knew Whitehaven would come. Last week we bombed a couple of tries, and the score sort of blew out. They had a new half back in there. I thought he did well. I thought Abram was dangerous out the back as well. So we knew that they wouldn't give up, and we knew they'd keep coming, and how difficult the game would be. But just very pleased to get the result, and again, slow and steady, but we are improving.
Another trip up to Cumbria next week. We make our return trip up to Workington away next Sunday. Are you thinking about that yet?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a difficult game the way they play. They're at home. They've been killing it at home this season, and we had a very difficult afternoon against them here. We rotated the squad a little bit that day, and they need the points. They're chasing Crusaders, so I'm sure it'll be a difficult game, but we're up for it. We'll have some ideas where we can go, and we'll look at picking the best team for that game, as well as, again, like I mentioned on Friday, giving people opportunities to play. Sure, we'll be well supported, like we were at Featherstone last week against school, and we have been away all season. So we'll go there. There's no pressure on us, but there's pressure to perform and enjoy it and do our best. So yeah, we'll look forward to it more than anything.
You touched there on squad rotation. Dan Parker missed out today, but you've been rotating the middles out throughout the last few weeks. Obviously, Leo Ali, who's been injured, brings Bobby Hartley in. He was good today. A couple of carries, 10-15 minutes at the end of the game. But will you look to rotate again next week, or are you pretty settled?
We won't make mass changes, but yeah, there'll be a couple. Obviously, Scoey missed out last week. He was back in today. Bowsy, had that calf, so we run him with Huddersfield last week. And we wanted to give Bobby an opportunity because he's been doing well in training, and just thought it was a good opportunity. And got him on, like I say, 15. He did put a good shot on and a couple of carries. And yeah, we want to look at everyone before the end of the season. We next season in mind as well. So yeah, there will be rotation. And, like I say, we don't want to make mass changes because we're getting a settled spine and settled team at the minute. But yeah, middle, maybe an outside back here or there, definitely.
And no injuries from today?
No, not that I'm aware of. Yeah, we got through without losing someone early. Probably the first time here, definitely. And obviously we lost one last week. So yeah, we're getting a little bit tougher, mate. And that's very pleasing.
Thank you.